Hello everyone! In the last episode, we saw the further expansion of the Oda clan and also Ieyasu obtaining the independence of the Matsudaira clan that changed its name into Tokugawa. The expansion of Oda came with a cost though. He made many enemies like Azai and Asakura to the north and in the same time the Iko-Iki threat from inside. In this episode, we will see Nobunaga's brutal response to these threats, and also Takeda Shingen's new campaign. The situation was not looking good for Oda, but he was strong and had many competent generals along his side. Generals like Shibata Katsuie, Maeda Toshie, Niwa Nagahide, Hashiba Hideyoshi, and Akechi Mitsuhide were samurai leaders that helped Nobunaga achieve his conquest. Nobunaga knew that the Iko-Iki threat had to be eradicated in order to maintain the stability in the region, so in August 1570 he marched to Ichiyama Honganji with Akechi Mitsuhide. His first order was to build fortifications around the temple complex. Iko-Iki responded by raiding at night Nobunaga's positions, delaying the siege and winning time. The fact that Iko-Iki forces learned to use the firearms caused the Oda attack on the impenetrable fortress to fail completely. Nobunaga grew impatient with the Iko-Iki, so 1 year later he tried again, but this time on Mount Hiei. He ordered 30,000 of his troops to surround the mountain, then started to climb from all sides, ordering his troops to kill every human being they met on their path, no matter the age. Once on the top of the mountain, he set the fire on the temple fortress. It was a slaughter. Thousands of civilians and monks were killed, women, children, elderly alike. Meanwhile, in the capital, the puppet shogun was still struggling to find a way to get rid of Nobunaga, so he decided to reach for Takeda Shingen's help, who was the only one capable facing Oda Nobunaga at that time, alongside with Mori in the west. Mori had to refuse to intervene though, since the health of Mori Motonari was worse and worse by day. Takeda Shingen was just waiting for something like this, so he immediately ordered the army to march west. First, he planned to take Tokugawa and then the Oda clan, so his first target was the mountain fortress of Futamata. The one who led the attack was not Shingen but his son, Katsuyori, who proved to be a competent leader, conquering the castle without great effort by cutting the water supply and so making the defenders quickly surrender. Now, Shingen entered the Tokugawa territory with his massive army, consisting of 28,000 soldiers. Upon hearing this, Nobunaga sent aid to Ieyasu, growing his army's numbers to 11,000 soldiers. In 1573, Ieyasu confronted Shingen's bigger force in the open at Mikatagahara. Initially, Tokugawa forces stood strong, by adopting a mass firearms strategy to hold Takeda's cavalry off. Shingen sent his infantry to charge in and the fight was harsh. After a while, two of Takeda's cavalry battalions managed to surround Tokugawa's army and charge in. This made Ieyasu's forces break. The next moment, Natsume Yoshinobu, one of his most trusted generals, tried to convince him to order the retreat. Ieyasu refused, even if he knew that they had no chance to win. That made Yoshinobu to act. He took the lead and then he turned around Ieyasu's horse and punched it hard in the back, making it run away from the battlefield. The next action was to run himself into the fray, yelling that he is Ieyasu and fighting until he got killed. That intentional sacrifice was meant to mislead the Takeda forces and give Ieyasu time to retreat. Ieyasu managed to reach the neighboring castle of Hamamatsu, with few of his retainers that survived the battle. He then had a brilliant idea to let the gates of the castle open for any other survivors and ordered that bonfires to be lit and drums to be played in order to gather his scattered soldiers back into the castle. Ieyasu knew that this might be seen by Shingen either as an open invitation to invade the castle, either as a trap to be avoided. He risked it, hoping that Takeda will consider it a trap. And, indeed, it was exactly as he expected. Two Takeda battalions reached the castle and refused to enter, considering a trap. So, they decided to make camp overnight to wait and watch the castle. That was the moment Ieyasu was waiting for. In the middle of the night, he took his remaining forces from the castle, raided two Takeda battalions, making them to retreat into the ravine. And when they were cornered by Tokugawa troops, he used the mass firearms to crush the Takeda soldiers. With the coming of winter and seeing the intelligence that Ieyasu proved, Shingen decided to order a full retreat back home in the Kai province until the spring. Tokugawa barely survived this time. Next spring, Shingen resumed the campaign, marching deep in Mikawa, sieging the Noda castle. Ieyasu was again cornered, but something suddenly happened. Takeda Shingen dies at the peak of his power. He was shot by a Tokugawa sniper from the Noda castle walls. Some say that he died from the bullet wound. Some say that the bullet wound was superficial and that he died from a liver illness that was haunting him for some years. Either the case, the Takeda clan lost his greatest leader. The Council of Takeda Generals decided to initially keep Shingen's death a secret, to keep clan's status strong, and to continue impose fear and respect to the neighboring enemy clans. Yet, in time, the truth came out, and the power was passed to his son, Takeda Katsuyori. It is said that hearing such sad news, Uesugi Kenshin, the eternal rival of Shingen, cried for losing such a worthy opponent. After he dealt with the Iko-Iki threat, and the Takeda clan could not march on Kyoto anymore because of the death of Shingen, Nobunaga was now free to focus on the remaining threat of Azai-Asakura alliance to the north. In 1573, Oda marched into Azai territory and the siege of Odani Castle had begun. Before attacking the Azai, Nobunaga chose to wait and ambush the Asakura reinforcements first with his main army, while only sending a small battalion to overwatch the Odani Castle. The ambush was a success, Asakura army being crushed, and the Asakura daimyo committing seppuku later in disgrace after seeing his army crushed and the entire province raided by Oda troops. The Asakura clan was destroyed. Now, the Azai clan was surrounded from all sides. Azai Nagamasa knew he had no chance, no matter how hard he would try to defend the Odani castle. In a final noble gesture, he released his wife, that was Nobunaga's sister, and their children, and then he committed seppuku alongside with his father and the rest of the Azai commanders. And this is how Nobunaga succeeded to eliminate all threats in just few years. In the next episode, we will see Takeda Katsuyori continuing his father's ambitions and the new threats that will appear on the horizon for Nobunaga. Thanks for watching and I hope you enjoyed. See you in the next episode.